Hi guys, this is your iOS buddy, and today in this video we are going to read today's news, that is 12th of April 2024, and we are focusing on UPSC Civil Services Prelims 2024, and we aspire to clear it through giving mains and then interview, and overall we want to clear it by the best possible rank. Okay, so those of you who want to connect with me, because I am myself as parent and I just want to connect with parents who are completely focused to clear UPSC CSE 2025, and I don't have any kind of peer group. I just want to create some peer group so that we can discuss on regular basis and focus on our studies. So first news here, it is India helping 5 nations develop early warning system. Early warning system EWS, India Meteorological Department IMD chief. Okay, so one thing which I forgot to mention here is that before reading the news, I want to clear is that we are just reading this news. Okay, we are not making the notes. We are not making notes out of it. We'll make notes when the monthly magazine is released. जब आपका जो ये मंथली मैगजीन है अप्रैल का जब रिलीज हो जाएगा, तो उसे हम लोग टारगेट 2 डेज़ में पूरा रीड करके आपका एक प्रीलिम्स के लिए और सेकंड मेंस ओरिएंटेड हम लोग नोट्स बनाएंगे. आप जहाँ भी बना सकते हो, चाहो तो यू कैन मेक इट एनीवेयर, लाइक ऑन एवर नोट और ऑन पेपर फॉर एज ऑन A4 शीट्स. ओके, now let's focus on the news. India is helping 5 nations to develop early warning system. Indian Meteorological Department chief. So what is about? We do not know the context. So we will read it through and we'll know. India is helping Nepal, Maldives, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and Mauritius to develop EWS, that is early warning systems, to reduce loss of life and property due to extreme weather events. So what are the extreme weather events? Like a cyclone, tsunami, or flood. These are the extreme weather events. So they are planning to develop a system which will inform us about the upcoming events beforehand. India's efforts are part of early warning for all, EW for all initiative announced by UN in 2022. So it was the event or initiative initiated by UN, United Nations. EWS, an integrated system of hazard monitoring, forecasting, etc., and processes enabling individuals, governments to take timely action, reducing disaster risk. About EW for all, aims to protect everyone from hazardous weather, water, or climate events through EWS by end of 2027. So we are trying to build a system so that we can prevent ourselves from extreme weather conditions, spearheaded by World Meteorological Organization and United Nations Office for Disaster Risk Reduction. Calls for investment of USD 3.1 billion between 2023 to 2027 to strengthen our 4 pillars of EWS. Disaster risk knowledge detection, observation, monitoring, analysis, and forecasting. Warning, dissemination, and communication, preparedness, and response capabilities. Challenges with what are the challenges? We'll focus on like advantages, challenges or issues, and then solution. Challenges. So challenges here, it can be lack of coordination between data collection and warning dissemination center. Language barriers hamper communication of early warnings to people. Way forward, improving data quality, ensuring access to data globally. Integrate specific and technological advancement with local, traditional, and indigenous and generational knowledge. Need for EWS. Why we need it? To protect lives and livelihoods. About 2 million deaths and economic losses of USD 4.3 trillion occurred during 1970 to 2021. So it is a huge number. Improve preparedness and mitigate impact of natural hazards. Increasing disasters due to climate change necessitate EWS. World is projected to face 560 medium to large scale disasters each year. So this was the news. Okay. Plastic Overshoot Date 2024 report released by Earth Action. Plastic Overshoot Day marks the point when the amount of plastic waste exceeds the world capacity to manage it. So the amount of plastic waste has reached that limit beyond which we are unable to manage it or handle it. Okay, which is resulting in environmental pollution, and it is determined based on the country's mismanaged waste index. So it is a kind of index by which we are determining whether it is capable of managing the amount of waste produced or not. In 2024, the global plastic overshoot day is projected to occur on September 5th. Okay. Each country has its own plastic overshoot day, with India's falling on 23rd April. So different countries had different dates on which they observe the global plastic overshoot day. What are the key findings at a global level? In the year 2024, 20 million tons of plastic waste will be created. It is a projected score. Plastic waste has risen by 7.11% since 2021. Since last 3 years, it rose by 7% around. 12 countries are responsible for 60% of world's mismanaged plastic waste. Top 3 are China, India and Russia. So we can see that we are the one of the largest plastic waste producers. India, classified as one of low waste producing polluters, MWI is very high, 68.62%. Annual per capita plastic waste production is 8 kg per capita per year, means per each individual produces 8 kg of plastic waste per day. Amount of plastic waste exported is lower than imported. Initiatives taken by India to reduce plastic waste. Plastic Waste Management Amendment Rules 2022. So it is a keynote. It is mentioning some of the acts or initiatives taken by the Indian government to mitigate the plastic waste management or to manage the plastic waste. It can be useful with regards to prelims point of view. Project Replan, reducing plastic from nature. Replan full form, we can remember it. It can be useful for prelims. Reducing plastic from nature. India Plastics Pact 2021. National Circular Economy Roadmap for reduction of plastic waste in India. Amount of causes of plastic waste in India: improper disposal resulting in release of microplastic, use of additives in plastic production and processing. Recommendations for India: develop local waste management infrastructure, invest in waste management policies like extended producer responsibility. Third news is 2024 Corporate Climate Responsibility Monitor, that is CCRM report released by the New Climate Institute in collaboration with Carbon Market Watch. So let's see what the report says. Report assesses the transparency and integrity of climate changes of 51 major global companies. CCRM focuses on four main areas of corporate climate action: tracking and disclosure of emissions, setting emission reduction targets, reducing own emissions, and taking responsibility for unabated and residual emissions. Initiatives for improving corporate climate responsibility. UNFCCC's Race to Zero campaign. A recommendation of UN High-Level Expert Group on the Net Zero Emissions Commitment of Non-State Entities HLEG. International Organization for Standardization ISO Net Zero Principles. Introduction of new science-based targets initiatives SBTi standards. Key insights. Collective ambition of companies 2030 and net zero climate targets has gradually improved over the last 2 years. Most companies continue to fall short of the economy-wide emission reductions required to limit the global warming of below 1.5 degrees Celsius. Many companies continue to rely on solutions such as carbon capture, utilization and storage. These abbreviations can be useful for prelims: utilization and storage CCUs, standalone renewable energy certificates RECs, renewable energy certificates, bioenergy and carbon dioxide removals as an alternative to emission reductions. Report recommends mitigating over-reliance on these contentious solutions. Recommendations. It is recommended that government should set some binding sectoral climate targets and expand carbon pricing or cap and trade emissions trading systems. Also, companies should follow an accelerated revision cycle for corporate climate targets 2030. Regulators, standard setters, and voluntary initiatives should formulate more prescriptive guidelines for companies to include fossil fuel phase out. So, it is recommended to put a cap on the company's targets or set a target to reduce the use of fossil fuels. These are some of the recommendations which can be useful for our mains answer writing. Okay. Rising cyber threats pose serious concern for macro financial stability, warns International Monetary Fund. So it is a case of, you can say, cyber security. Okay. It can be a question of security. According to IMF, Global Financial Stability Report 2024, risk of extreme losses from cyber incidents has increased to $2.5 billion. Number of cyber attacks has almost doubled since COVID-19 pandemic. Attacks on financial firms account for nearly one fifth of the total, of which banks are most exposed. Reasons behind rising cyber incidents in financial sector. Increased digital financial services offer target-rich environment for hackers. Insider threats, that is, users have authorized access to assets and misuse their privileges deliberately or accidentally for monetary gain. Cybersecurity skills gap, leaving financial firms vulnerable to cyber threats. Geopolitical tensions, example surge in cyber attack after Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Impact of cyber attacks on micro financial stability, data breach lead to loss of confidence, inviability of targeted institutions resulting in high deposit outflows. Cyber attacks on payment networks can halt trading, online banking, undermine countries' financial stability. Cyber attacks propagate rapidly within a network of financial systems through financial linkages, thus impacting market stability. Policy recommendations: strengthen the reporting of cyber incidents by financial firms to supervisory agencies. Financial firms should develop and test response and recovery procedures to remain operational in face of cyber incidents. Okay, so we are abruptly stopping this stream. We'll continue.